Hey guys.
Hey, you guys have been doing awesome. Keep it up with getting those submissions in on time. We are here to help and support you, so keep reaching out when you guys need help because we want to help as much as we can. So this week 3 of remote learning. We're going to start with 10.6 part 2. When you complete that and you're feeling good, then take the 10.6 quiz on its learning. And then due Friday will be 11.1. Make sure you take that quiz by Friday. And 11.2 part 1 will also be due Friday. So keep it up. 10.6 part 2 will be due on Wednesday. These two will be due by Friday.
Remember on the quizzes, 3 questions each time. If you don't get 3 of 3 on your first time, take it a second time. You should not be taking it more than 2 times. And me and Miss May, we just want to let you know that we miss you guys, and we're kind of hanging out, working hard for you guys, but we miss you guys. So if you need any questions, just reach out to us. It's not a big problem for us to jump on Zoom with you guys. We kind of this week have been a little lonely without, having a lot of questions. So just reach out if you guys need anything. We're going to go ahead and start the lesson for 10.6 part 2.
Do this!
All right. So the first 10.6 part 2, finding angles in a triangle. So our first Bellwork problem, just to make sure you guys got it down, part 1. We're looking at a triangle with a 90-degree angle. They told us that this is a 48-degree angle. This is labeled X, and this is labeled with a length of 14. Again, this was not given, not important here. Remember from our last video, this is going to be our opposite side because it's opposite of the angle, and the hypotenuse is the one always across from the 90-degree angle. So remember on the last homework we had you guys write down SOHCAHTOA. So since we're dealing with opposite and hypotenuse, we are looking at our sine function. So we're going to take the sine of 48 degrees is equal to x over 14. We're trying to get x by itself. We're going to multiply both sides by 14. Then we should be using our calculator. Remember, we're going to make sure it's on degree. We're going to do 14 times the sine of 48, and that would be giving us 10.4. And again, it says the nearest tenth, so we're going to be keeping this as a 4, so x equals 10.4. That would make sense as an answer if the hypotenuse is 14, which is the longest side. One of the legs being 10.4 makes sense. So what we're going to be doing now for part 2 is we're going to be finding angles in a triangle. We're going to be using the inverse trig ratios that can be found to find the missing angles. If you look at your calculator real quick, if you haven't noticed yet, you see this sine -1, cosine -1, tan of -1. So those are going to be the functions that we will be using today. I'll show you how to select those with your calculator when we get to the problem. So right here, sine -1, cosine -1, tan to the -1 power. Again, these are the inverses. So find the measure of angle A. We're looking at our first triangle. It's a 90-degree angle. Like the other ones, this is labeled C, A, and B. We know that this side is 12, this side is 24, this side was not given. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is find the measure of angle A. That means this is our reference angle. Angle A is the reference angle. So if we're looking at SOHCAHTOA, we know that this 24 is our hypotenuse. We know that this is the side right next to A. So that is our adjacent side. This would be the opposite side, but again, we don't need it. So A and H will be cosine. So we're going to do the cosine of A is equal to our adjacent, which is 12, over our hypotenuse, which is 24. We want to find this right here, which is our... All right, so we are back from our commercial break. All right, so to get this angle by itself, what Miss May and myself would like you guys to do is write A equals, you're going to do the cosine -1 of 12 over 24. So we're having you write this because this is what you should be typing straight into your calculator. So what that will look like is I need to get to the cosine -1. So on this calculator, we're going to hit second. And if you see, whatever calculator you're using, you got to be seeing that on your calculator. And then we're going to hit 12 divided by 24, which is a 60-degree angle. Okay, so then A equals 60 degrees. Miss May, anything to add? For the next practice problem, I'm going to draw the triangle here, 90-degree angle. This is our angle A, B, and C. They're giving you this side is 8, this is 12, and we want you to find measure of angle A. So go ahead and pause the video and try to work that out right now. Okay, so the reference angle is angle A, which makes this be our opposite side and our hypotenuse, which means we are using our SO function, right? So we're using sine. So sine of A will equal 8 over 12. Again, A equals the inverse of sine of 8 over 12. So now we want to hit second sine. Let me scoot this over. Of 8 divided by 12, close my parenthesis, and we should be getting that. It did not state how to round, but if it doesn't state, usually just go ahead and round it to 41.8 degrees. Okay, any comments, Ms. May? All right, so flip to the back side of the notes. There's going to be some word problems that you'll deal with in math that talk about angle of elevation or angle of depression. So depression means to go down. So if this person in the balloon is looking down, that is going to be called an angle of depression. Angle of elevation, elevate means to go upwards. So the angle of elevation will be this angle down here. So the problem we're going to look at from the book is problem 5. It says, suppose you are waiting in line for a ride. You see your friend at the top of the ride. So you are down here. Your friend is up in the ride. How far are you from the base of the ride? So they're asking you this distance right here. How far are you from here to the base of the ride? Okay. So if the angle of depression was 20, the angle of elevation will also be 20 degrees, and we know that the friend is up 150 feet in the sky. So what you want to do is draw yourself the little triangle that you see. Again, this is the 90-degree angle, correct? The 90-degree angle right there. This is our 150. This is our 20-degree angle, and they're asking for x. So if this is our reference angle, this is our adjacent side, this is our opposite side, and you should be using the function TOA, right? So tan of 20 degrees will equal 150 over x. So this is back to the previous lesson. We know what the angle is. We're not looking for the angle. We're looking for x. Remember, got to get x out of your denominator, multiply by x to both sides. Okay? So x tangent of 20 degrees equals 150. You want to get x alone. So you're going to divide by the tangent of 20 degrees. So x equals 150 divided by tan of 20. Miss May, do I need the tan to the -1 for this?
No, because we already have the angle.
Very good. So 150 divided by tangent of 20 degrees. Mr. Deshanes made sure it was on degrees again. Boom.
Boom.
So x equals 412.12. Now, that is not our final answer. If you look at the problem, they were giving this as a whole number, 150 feet. So we would like you guys to go in and round this to a whole number. So x equals 412 feet. Or we would also accept 410 feet. You can also have round that down since it was 150 feet. Miss May, any questions?
Feeling good.
All right, guys, good luck on the homework.
Now, at this point in the video, I want you to write on your homework, SOHCAHTOA, at the top of your paper so we know that you watched it and you're killing it.